beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I tend to read and review mysteries and thrillers, but I will read and review the occasional super hyped up fiction novel. And I'm so excited to say that the book I'm reviewing just came out on January 4th. It is called The Maid by Nita Prose, and it is a 5-star read. So if you are looking for a 5-star read to start off your 2022 reading journey, I would highly suggest picking this up. I was so grateful to get gifted this advanced reader's copy off of NetGalley. I requested it myself because it just sounded like it was right up my alley. I read it in May of 2021, and it's actually already has the rights to be made into a movie, which is awesome. But this is just such a wonderful book, and I'm so excited to talk about it. If this book sounds interesting to you, I will have it linked in the description box below. Also, if you're new here, you can connect with me on Goodreads and Instagram. Both of the links are in the description box, and it's also just the same handle, which is at Heather's Book Review. But let's go ahead and get talking about this book. I'm gonna read the synopsis for you since I read an ebook version of it. A charmingly eccentric hotel maid discovers a guest murdered in his bed. Solving the mystery will turn her once orderly world upside down in this utterly original debut. Molly Gray is not like everyone else. She struggles with social skills and misinterprets the intentions of others. Her Gran used to interpret the world for her, codifying it into simple rules that Molly could live by. Since Gran died a few months ago, 25-year-old Molly has had to navigate life's complexities all by herself. No matter, she throws herself with gusto into her work as a hotel maid. Her unique character, along with her obsessive love of cleaning and proper etiquette, make her an ideal fit for the job. She delights in donning her crisp uniform each morning, stocking her cart with miniature soaps and bottles, and returning guest rooms at the Regency Grand Hotel to a state of perfection. But Molly's orderly life is turned on its head the day she enters the suite of the infamous and wealthy Charles Black, only to find it in a state of disarray and Mr. Black himself very dead in his bed. Before she knows what's happening, Molly's unusual demeanor has the police targeting her as their lead suspect. She quickly finds herself caught in a web of deception, one she has no idea how to untangle. Fortunately for Molly, friends she never knew she had unite with her in a search for clues to what really happened to Mr. Black. But will they be able to find the real killer before it's too late? If you're looking for a book that has an amazing protagonist, pick this one up. It is so rare that in the mystery and thriller genre, we get a unique protagonist. Can we all just mull that over for a second? When is the last time you've read a thriller or a mystery where you loved the protagonist? Yeah, it's been a little bit, right? I honestly, I don't read thrillers because I want to make those connections and relationships with the protagonists, right? I read thrillers because they just keep me on my toes, but I'm not super it's not the genre if I want to fall in love with characters, right? It's just not. That's usually fantasy or literally almost any other type of fiction genre, but thriller is not really. This is a mystery. I know I keep saying thrillers because I always read thrillers. This is a mystery, but our protagonist, Molly, is amazing. 20 pages into the book, I already loved her, okay? It's not explicitly said in the story, but Molly is most likely has Asperger's. She is definitely on the spectrum, and there are multiple examples of how she just struggles with social interactions, and she struggles with making conversation and the right things to say and the correct proximity between people. And you just love her. You fall in love with her. She's such an amazing protagonist. She's so intense. She's so honest and a truly genuine character. I have never read a book like this before. It's so unique in its own way. She's just genuinely sweet, quirky, and she makes the story. When they make this film, they need to cast it well. They need to cast someone who can just portray Molly, because Molly is the maid. Molly is everything about this book. The setting takes place at a nice ritzy hotel, and I loved that. It was just fun to envision picturing a swanky hotel in downtown Chicago or something, and it was just fun. It's like I was taking places that like I've either viewed or toured or something, and like envisioning what it would be like to work at something like so, you know, fancy and amazing. And it just makes for a really fun setting. This book is getting a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10 on Goodreads, a go get this book now on my rating scale. It's so good. It's a whodunit mystery, right? And sometimes in whodunits, you can figure out where the book is leading, but I promise you the book as a whole is just so good. There are some scenes in this book that I still think about to this day. If you're new here, I am gonna go ahead and get into the book chat part of the video for those of us who have read, which is what I do in all of my videos. So this part will contain spoilers, but if you're new here, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you are notified every time I post a new bookish related video. Oh my God, when that Wilbur guy stole the money from Molly and her grandmother, I was livid. Like, it has been a long time since I like genuinely like boiled while reading a book. And oh my gosh, just like, you know, she didn't have the like heart to tell her gran, and her gran worked so hard for that money. Then you feel so bad for her because she's like getting involved with Rodney. And it's clear that like Rodney and Juan were up to something. But you get the vibe early on that like Juan is just an innocent character. But you know, Molly being Molly thinks that Rodney is a good character, and she's like not picking up on those social cues and like this shadiness, like sus vibe that is Rodney. And I'm just holding the book and reading it like, Molly, please, 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 please. Like that one line when Rodney's like, your family's in Mexico, right? So he's saying this to Juan. He's like, I have family out there that could pay them a visit, or I have friends out there that could pay them a visit. I'm like, oh my God, Molly, run from this guy, please. Some of the parts that really stuck with me were just like Molly's coworkers always looking down on her, especially Cheryl, like just being an ass and always wanting her tips and everything. It was just like, the whole book screamed like these people just never left high school, right? Like they were just bullies. Also, why did I think Juan had a wife back in Mexico? Like when they were like having a thing, I was like, wait, isn't he like married? But he's definitely not. I don't know why. I think I just assumed he was like a hardworking, wholesome man. And like when he said family back home, I think I thought like immediate family, like wife and kids. Molly's help with the assisted suicide with her grandmother was also a really heartbreaking scene to read. And the it's time that was used throughout the book so much finally made sense like once I got to that scene, right? Like that was almost like a sense of imagery that was just used throughout the book, and it finally clicked for me there. And I loved the twist that it was the first Mrs. Black and that Molly knew the entire time. I did not see that coming at all. Please leave in the comments what you thought about this book. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.